Well, I've talked about my mom, but I haven't talked about my dad. My father, a wonderful human being, was the ultimate salesman. His entire life was in sales, and he had a very engaging way to get people to buy things, whatever it was, through the evolution of his professional life. And I learned a lot from Dad about how to sell. And I think my business is selling the arts to elected officials and to influential citizens, and so his ability to convey some of that to me, I'll never be the salesman he was. But it was a great life experience for me to watch him, how he won people over. But through the course of my career, I've been really fortunate. I have a 15-member board of volunteers, and I've worked with enormously talented, influential people that I've learned a lot from. And I mentioned earlier that a key moment for us was the evolution of us from an agency into a department. That moment was catalyzed by a board member who assumed the chairmanship of my board. And it was the first time in my career that we had had a political lobbyist appointed to the Cultural Affairs Council. And his name was Rick Sisser. And I'll never forget the first day after the election. Of course, Rick got to be chairman by lobbying for it, right? He lobbied my board to become chairman, and it was very unusual, and there were people that weren't particularly happy about it, about having a political lobbyist, who were looked at as people who had sullied hands, right? Become chairman of this arts board. And we were like considered to be do-gooders, right? Why in the world would we have a lobbyist be our chairman? And Rick came in to meet with me, and he said, look, I know I'm a controversial choice for this board, but I can tell you that I am going to resign all of my lobbying accounts that have to do with Miami-Dade County, and I'm going to devote full attention to getting you what you need, and all I need is your list. So I looked at him and I said, my list? And he said, yes, I need your list. What do you want? So I said, well, I want to be a department. I want our budget to double. I want salary increases for all of our staff who I think are underpaid here. And I went down the list of all the things that I wanted. And in less than 2 years, Rick accomplished all of them. And I learned an enormous amount from him about how to really influence the political infrastructure of government by watching him work, using his skills for the forces of good to get all of these things accomplished. And I think if one person was the turning point in our evolution from the point of view of civic volunteerism, it was Rick Sisser. And then since that time, our board has been politically charged, because one of the things that Rick did is he looked at the board composition. He said to me, and I'll never forget this term either, he says, Michael, we've got to upgrade this board. And I said, can I upgrade it? These are really great people. He said, no, they have to be really great people who are influential. And he methodically went about recruiting the most influential people in town to be members of my board. And so it wasn't just Rick trying to move heaven and earth to get these things done, but he could deploy the people on my board to do those things.